The first time was this, set up high, I'm not high, it's set up stock height, but looks high. And then the next one was, because I wanted that IndyCar chassis deal, I dropped the car down. No, the next one was when I painted it pearl maroon with black fenders, and I had the silver mohair and oxblood interior in it. And it had a big block Chevrolet with the 400, with the Engine Masters Hydro and a tunnel ram. And I never started it. It was completely done. Cooks did the four-wheel disc brakes for me. At that time, nobody that I knew had four-wheel disc brakes on their Model A. It still had the vertical steering, or the angled up steering. It wasn't the same steering column design. But all I had to do was put the key in it and turn the throttle. I just didn't do it. It wasn't what I wanted. And it was really pretty. It looked really good. And then I brought it home, disassembled it, and let it set for probably, 10 years. I'd taken it to the LA Roadster show twice to sell it. And Bobby Barnes came up to me. This was before Brookville or anybody was building steel bodies. And he said, "Donnie, Henry's not building any more Model A's." So I thought about it and pushed it back in the trailer. I don't even think I had it out an hour. And then later in life, for whatever reason, I thought, well, maybe I'm never going to build it. I took it back down there with the Corvette rear end and that sort of thing. It was setting together, but it really wasn't together. And I think the same thing, Bobby came by and talked to me and I decided I wasn't going to sell it and pushed it back in the trailer. This was my dream in the beginning. Today, if I go someplace, there isn't anybody else that's going to have one just like it. And that's always been important to me, is to have a little bit of a standout, but not so far that people couldn't relate to it. I get a lot of raspberries about the red headlights, but I didn't want it to have the stainless Model A headlights, so we put the commercial lights on it. And even if I had painted the car, I wanted the headlights to be the body color. I mean, there's a lot of contradictions in the car, because I wanted it to look like a race car, and I have the feel and the sound and the horsepower, but I wanted the turn signals and the cowl lights. I wanted the quail on the radiator cap. I just wanted things to be a little bit different, but still acceptable, and still have that, what I think is a cool hot rod look. When we first built the car, I put a column drop with a stock Chevrolet steel rod. And then, because I've got to spend some time with Iskandarian and so on, we found a rod from his early days that he'd made with an offset. He'd offset the bottom of the rod. Instead of the bolts being down here, he's kicked them off to the side.
Weird.
And so that was unique. And then the fact that I got it from Ed, and he actually gave it to me, we made a different column drop, but it's just something that's unique to the car, and the fact that I got it from him, and I've got to spend time with him, and I help do his birthday parties and so on that we've done for the last 10 or 12 years. But anyway, that's one of the cool parts in the car that's very subtle that most people wouldn't have any idea about. One of the things when I was a kid, the cowl, I painted it black lacquer until it looked like a big black marble. And so when we did the car again, I wanted it to have that early black lacquer, black enamel type dash to have that deep glow. And so that was one of the things that we did that followed suit. This windshield header piece actually is from the first car being chromed, I don't know, 40 years ago. And so it's still got the early chrome on it.
Wow.
It's a little thin in places, but it's
still,
and the windshield frame and everything else is still the early chrome from the early days. And I didn't want to take the glass out because it had my parking permit sticker on it from college. The best part of it is just simply I get to do something with it that carries on my family, and they let me do this, or they put up with this all of these years. And so if I can send it to a good home and somebody I think will appreciate it for what it is, they may change it, but it's their car, so I wouldn't have any problem with that. It's just, it's still got a lot of loose ends. There's no wire on the tack, but at any rate, basically it's the way it's gonna leave. Spending the time with your friends on a project. And the best day in the shop is the day that 3 of you or 4 of you are working on a project and the music's in the background and the pizza comes at lunchtime, and you get to spend time and laugh and joke and accomplish something. It's like musicians playing music on Sunday just because they want to be together and make music. So that's the coolest part about this car. Yeah, I've been asked, how could I sell the car that I've had it for so long? And this may be an emotional part for me, so I'll do my best not to be too sappy. My granddaughters graduated from high school and junior college at the same time with honors from both schools. And, I thought, my God, going to college, for 2 of those kids to go to college, that's a big student loan. And I had a gentleman by the name of Ron Ernsberger tell me if I ever wanted to sell a car, he wanted something that I had built. And Ron and I have done several car deals together in the past. So I called him and said, hey, if you want the car, it's this much money, and I'm willing to sell it at this point. And he paid me for the car, but right about the same time the pandemic came about, and so he hasn't been able to pick the car up. He's going to pick it up this year at the Grand Nationals when he's debuting another car. And the funds from that help me help my granddaughters go to college. So losing the car or giving the car up, or however you want to say it, has an opportunity to help somebody else in life. And so, I got to do it.